Nice highlight wave in it.
Yeah. All right. So let's get started. So welcome to session 3 of Fight Them in the Mountains, my uh, MYFAROG the Coming campaign. So let's get started. So to recap what happened last time, the party had left the village of Rogers, Ohio, filling up the tank in their truck, and following a map that was given to them by their NPC companion Mike. Following following the map down to West Virginia, they stopped briefly at a small warehouse owned by Fernando. In his little side hustle, they just hang out there for a little bit. After departing, they are redirected by some National Guardsmen who are guarding a fallout zone caused by a melted down nuclear power plant. They later on found a moonshiner who asked the party to accompany him on a delivery to a militia camp a little further down the river. On the way, they got onto a firefight with a biker gang. Mike was killed and Fernando was wounded. The party then limped the rest of the way to the camp, and we do like a little bit of time jump. It's a nearly a month has passed so that Fernando's arm can properly heal. So we can I could probably assume that Fernando doesn't really do too much, and but I guess I should probably let you guys kind of decide what kind of went on. So first, I'll turn it over to Fernando. What do you think he's been doing while his arm has been healing after the battle? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, I was just experimenting with the push to talk thing, and I don't know which button is the one I set. What he was doing, I think, for the most part, he probably tried not to move his arm too much. He had like the arm,
They probably had it like
well,
in like a sling or something.
yeah, in like a sling, so it doesn't move. It's basically um, now he's trying, a little bit more. But for the time where he couldn't, I think he just did as much, help as he could be um, by using his other arm and just did, I don't know, just doing what's, I guess, helpful for the people around him and for himself. But nothing more special than just basic, everyday, activities like feeding himself, walking, going out for walks, trying to keep moving so he doesn't like get too laid back or like he doesn't want to lose his physical kind of abilities. But at the same time, he's trying to keep, as he's trying to keep fit, he's also trying not to overexert himself because he knows he needs to replenish the blood he lost. And, it takes some time to make the blood that you lost, like a few weeks. And he knows that because he's not a dumb guy. He's not, incredibly smart, but he knows that much and just tries to stay out of trouble and recover.
All right. So now, how about Joseph? I imagine he's been a little bit more active than uh, Fernando since he's pretty healthy. He basically was unscathed for the event.
I'm gonna say Joseph has probably been doing what he can to help out. He's an engineer by trade, and so um, he's probably found plenty of work to do that would not necessarily be getting done otherwise.
All right, so I imagine in the time being, since this is it's kind of like a militia. It's not like a proper military. It's just you know citizens who took up arms to defend their country. So they kind of imagine they kind of took you under their wing, and just you've basically been kind of made a member of this militia in some capacity. You've probably done some training and whatnot. So let's say the camp that you're in, when you were originally brought there, you were brought onto an island, in the middle of the Ohio River, and after a while they assessed the damage. They took you back off the island and drove you down to this other like encampment that they have not too far away. It's like less than a mile away in this disused like factory that they've been using for their devices. But the encampment that they have on the island is it's in a I would consider it a very aggressive position, because on the other side of this island is the city of Weirton, West Virginia, which, from what you've gathered over the month, is occupied by the Soviets. You can't really see too much about the town itself, but what you can very clearly see from across the river is the big steel mill that has been kept in operation by the Soviets for their own devices. So you're just kind of probably spent a good amount of time looking across the river, seeing like this smokestacks of this big steel mill just belching smoke, and hearing just the sounds of general industry. Now, the island you're on is home of it was a coke plant, that was kind of like a part of this whole complex, but at some point it had fallen out of use. Now, the other side, it's not, it's pretty difficult to get to the other side, because there are two little like road bridges going to and from this island. The one on the western side of the Ohio, where you came from, is fine, but the other bridge leading to the eastern side going to West Virginia has been blown up at some point. It is like you can't cross it. So, and another thing that you've noticed is a little further, like down south, every so often you can hear like gunfire, like there's like some like firefights going on. It's not constant. Like it will like be very quiet for a few minutes, but whenever the firefights do pick up, they can last for quite some time, like lasting up to hours. So at this point, uh, Fernando has, he's probably going to be following up with the medics at the encampment, and they're going to check on his arm and see if it's healed enough that he can be let out of that sling. But I guess I should kind of like let you guys maybe role play that out. So I'd imagine it's probably, let's say it's the mid afternoon, and you guys are just kind of hanging out in this old like factory. It was probably like a, it wasn't, like a big like blast furnace steel mill. It's kind of like, some other processing facility, but it's pretty hot because it's the middle of summer by now. So it's not very comfortable, but there's not really too much you can do. So right now, as it is, what do you guys think you're doing?
Hmm. Is this Brown's Island, by the way, just so we're clear?
It is, as a matter of fact. Are you
Yeah,
looking it up
I'm
like
looking at the area on Google Earth right now.
on Google Maps? Yeah, I am too. But yeah, it would be Browns Island, though you're right now you're not on Browns Island. You are at the very end. There's another like kind of factory. It says Timet or whatever it is. That's roundabout where you are. You're in that facility, and there's an encampment somewhere on Browns Island, you know, that is also part of the militia. You guys are you guys have been kind of keeping a pretty low profile, to avoid detection from the Soviets. Whilst they probably couldn't really cross the river by vehicle because of the bridge, but they probably have other means of crossing the river to get to you guys. But anyways, what do you guys think you're doing at this? Let's say it's about noonish. What do you think you
Uh-huh.
guys are doing?
Well, I don't know. I think I'm gonna try to get off, get this swing. Was it swing? The thing that holds my arm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm taking it off under the supervision of the medics and seeing if I can move it around and testing it. And to my surprise, I find it has healed quite a lot. Although there are certain kind of weird frictions, I guess you can say. Maybe the bone kind of grew a little bit askew. But apart
It
from that, I touch it with my hand and I feel that it is probably a little bit in one direction more than the other. But I'm glad that it's still, fine,
you
that I
have a
can still use
functional
it.
arm, and that's all that
Yeah, it's
matters.
functional, but it's probably not as functional as it was before, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
Um, I think maybe that could be a penalty of some sort.
I would say probably for
Possibly, I
like
don't know. I don't
maybe
know.
for like maybe for like strength checks or like
Yeah, maybe it's
dexterity
more
checks, you
brittle.
probably
Maybe
get
I
like
should
a
keep it, yeah,
maybe
keep
like
it
a
like,
permanent like -1 to those.
I think so. Something definitely doesn't feel right, and I can't move it in the same free motion as I could before. Before I could, yeah, spin it left, right, up, down, center, any direction, no problem. But now there's something in the way that it's healed that seems to be scraping on like the joints, and it's really weird. Maybe the the medics will know better, but they say it's fine and it's functional. I trust them, but I know that it's a little bit that it's less of an arm. It's like half the arm it used to be. What was it? The left one, was it? It was the left one, right?
I think it was your I believe it was your left arm.
Yeah. So luckily, my guy right-handed, so Not gonna miss it too much, but definitely makes it a little awkward at times.
Yeah,
So
you're
that's the first thing. Yeah.
for sure, dominant, right-handed. All right.
Yeah.
So,
Um, so that's what the main thing that I am noticing after removing the swing, and apart from that, I'm feeling like a little bit less brave than what I used to be against gunfire, and a bit more cautious. So I'm thinking that next time I should probably get an armored vehicle and not such a exposed kind of a truck when I'm
yeah,
about to do these stunts.
I mean,
So I'm
what you
gonna speak to the militia if we can find something like that, and um, go on the next trip. But I don't know. We'll see. I want to speak to their commander or whoever is leading them if possible. And if for some reason they say, oh, you can't speak to that guy because you're just some random person, I'm gonna show them my scars and demand some more respect.
Alright, so yeah, you take off your sling, you kind of move it around. It's, as you said, your arm is not what it used to be, and but as you said, it's a functional arm, and that's all you could ask for. So you're gonna go find like a superior, to talk to about, as you said, maybe having like finding like a better vehicle that would give you a little bit better protection. And you come up to this one guy, say his name is Bill, and he's he's not a very stuck up guy. Like, you know you've probably gotten to know him a little bit, and you know he you know you know welcomes you. Like, it's a very informal thing. Like, there's no like salutes or whatnot, but you walk up to him, and you can kind of see he looks a little concerned about something. Like, something's worrying him.
Okay, so Bill, um, all right, that was your name, Bill. Can I speak to you for a moment? I've got something on my mind, and you look a little worried as well. Maybe
Yes,
you can
yes,
also
yes,
share your mind with
Fernando.
me.
Yes, you can certainly talk to me. Yes, yes, there is something that's very troubling me. The Dawn Patrol has not returned to base. I've been we've been trying to contact them, through radio, and we haven't heard back from them at all. So we've sent out a search party to go looking for them, and now we can't contact them either.
So what was your initial plan with the expedition? Did they say they're going from point A to point B? Do you know on the map where they're meant to be? You gotta know that, and then maybe send another patrol and figure out what's going on, because these are our men, and there's too few of us to lose like this. And
That's
you know,
exactly why I'm weary to send out more men, because I worry that they might go missing too.
and so maybe what kind of options are there? And you're sending out, I guess you're in charge of some kind of part of the militia. I don't know who is fully in charge, but I'd also like to maybe talk to somebody that, or maybe I would like to know who's who in this camp and all that, because I feel like um, I have um, I have already lost, and we all lost a lot of everything, But at least I want to like know, you know, what the next thing is, and who to speak for, and who to look for, and all that. But you seem to be in charge of some part, so you must know the other people in charge of other, sections of the organization.
I'm I'm pretty high up on the hierarchy in this particular encampment, and let's see the general. His name is Joshua. He's Usually he's a pretty uptight kind of guy, but I'll get in touch with him and see what he can do for you. So
Well, I just want to help, and this has become my life's kind of new direction, really, because I got nothing else, and we won't have anything else unless we resist. And so
absolutely.
I
So
feel like this is
like what can
this is
I
my like duty. Like I place this country second only to God in my you know beliefs, and that's how much I love this country. I'm willing to die for it.
hear hear my man. So what what can I do for you? Like anything that I can provide for you? I see your arm has healed up.
Yeah, it's healed. It's a bit awkward, but it's usable. And as long as I've got my hands and I'm willing to use, I can use them. I'll use them. But I need a better vehicle, as stupid as it might sound. The only reason why I got injured so badly was because I was reckless and my vehicle was just some old truck, and obviously the bullets didn't really get reflected by the truck. It wasn't armored, or it wasn't like heavy steel. It was just a rusty old truck. So I don't know what the situation is with our armaments and with like our material kind of possessions, but a better truck will really help for the next time I'm surrounded by gunfire and I'm at a high risk situation. And I do plan on putting myself in such a situation because I feel like I'm rotting every day that I'm not doing something for our freedom.
Okay. Let's see. Roll a d20 for me.
Well, that's
What'd you get?
unfortunately too.
Hmm. He kind of he kind of like shakes his head and he's like, we, you know, you know, like armored vehicles like that are kind of hard to come by. Really we just kind of have to work with what we can.
Well, perhaps
But at
then,
the same
perhaps then
time,
a vest of some sort, some kind of like bulletproof vest or something. Maybe you can come up with something. Or we got an engineer. We got Joseph, right? He can make something. We just need to
yeah,
give him tools. He can make our vehicles armored, you know?
yeah, we could certainly take one of our vehicles, and we got, as you can see walking around here, we've got a lot of sheet steel. If he's you know, if he's adequate at like welding and stuff, he could probably take some of that and weld some sheet steel to one of our vehicles here and make some makeshift armor. As for like bulletproof vests, as I said, like we don't have too much, but I think we might be able to find something. Usually, the stuff that we can find are you know taken off of fallen soldiers or something. So we might have some. Just I'll have one of our armorers take a look.
I guess we're a bit low on supplies for everything then.
Yeah, it can be a little tough, but like what supplies we can get is very welcome. Like that fine fellow that brought you guys down here that gives us that the good moonshine. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's great to have a drink, but it's it's not so essential as other supplies. And I'll just you know raise my brows as I'm saying that, and then look at um, was it Ben? No, it wasn't Ben. It was
Bill.
Bill. Sorry, uh, and kind of say, well, you lost your men. Um, let's I don't know. You don't want to send anybody. I'll go and I want to see what's going on there. But
If
as I said, let's
if
be
you
smart about it. Yeah.
if you'd like to go out and searching for our men on your own, you know, you know, that's up to you. But just be
Well,
very cautious because
I want to help. I just don't know how, and that's why I asked. Have they not made up, devised a plan? Usually, even when you go hiking somewhere, you know what your plan is, where you go, what you do, what happens in an emergency. So I thought they would have given you some kind of instructions before leaving, or you could have given them instructions. I don't know. It just
well,
sounds like
the
this is a
dawn
bit
patrol
chaotic.
it's a as you've probably seen or heard some of the men, but this is a very routine thing. Like in the very early morning, let's say it's usually like 6 o'clock. We send a squad of men, about 12 men, out in a couple of our vehicles, and he'll drive down a specific, like a specified like route to keep a watch on the opposition to see if they've made any advances and whatnot, and then they usually make their way back a little bit before noon. Now he looks at his watch. It's like it's about 12:30 now, and we haven't even heard from them.
Well, it's still early. They caught in a crossfire. Somebody might be shooting each other. Might be, everything could have happened. Maybe their car died, or I don't know if they're going on foot. But let's not assume the worst. Let's just wait it out, maybe, or try to somehow gain more
Well, it's not.
information.
It wouldn't be the first time that we've had some car troubles, but we send our men out with some walkie talkies. They don't
Oh yeah,
always.
you mentioned that they didn't really they didn't like have any correspondence.
Yeah, we haven't heard from them. Like we haven't even heard from them since 8 o'clock. They usually keep pretty good contact. Like we usually have like certain checkpoints or certain spots that they stop and observe enemy positions, and they'll report back to us what they find.
And how many walkie-talkies do you have in that squad? And how many people did you lose in that squad, or are not, reporting back? How many are there missing?
About a dozen. There's
Oh,
usually send out two higher ranking members, and usually those are the ones that have the walkie talkies. But we haven't
okay.
heard from either of them since.
And those men, they're trusted men, right? They're not just some random or
It's kind of a volunteer force. Like
All right.
Usually, like I think even I think even your companion Joseph,
We
you know,
fall in that category.
yeah, he, I think at one point he volunteered for the Dawn Patrol, so he probably would know a thing or two about it. But well,
Well, I've tried to stay out of action until I've recovered, but uh, this is really troubling. I don't know. We're safe here, but for how long? If we can't, keep updated on what's going on around us, and these people are our eyes, essentially. I would assume.
yes, yes, he is.
Well,
So
then
he
we're in the
nods,
dark a little bit.
and well, if you I'll go say I'll go ask one of our other men to go, search for some body armor and like what kind of gun you got? Like,
I have a rifle. It's a single like fire. You fire once and then you need to reload it, and it's basically a hunting rifle.
you kind
It's
of need
not anything special, but I'm very comfortable with it. Uh,
you
I
kind
could I could wield other weapons as well. Maybe an upgrade would be a good idea, especially if I'm
if you're gonna
facing
be
someone with a bigger gun. Yeah.
if you're gonna be searching for these men, I would suggest we find you something a little more suitable for
Okay.
so
I'm open to ideas, and
we'll see.
not
I'll go
I'm not
talk down to
stubborn.
the armor and see what they have. Like, we don't have like a big stockpile of arms, but we definitely will have some that's a bit more suitable. Not saying that your little rifle there is no good, but
It's certainly not as good as something else. Like, for example, a automatic or any kind of it's just an old rifle, and there's more powerful ones, and it's it's kind of slow reloading and everything, and sometimes you want to spray, and I guess if I want to spray and I'm stuck with this gun, it's gonna be hard. So I totally agree. So I'm curious to see what you come up with, but uh, I don't want to put a strain on your kind of budget. So
it's not
yeah.
it's no big deal. Like, we'll find you something. So you go you go be on your way now. If you had something else that you were on your way to do, I'll go, you know pull some strings and we'll find you something. And
Okay.
we'll find something your for your companion too, if you'll be taking him along.
Well, that's for him to decide, really, as well, what he would like to do, and maybe I don't know. I don't know any like at this point it's all vague, but I'd love to help, that's for sure. And if I can, I'll do. So if there's nobody else that's brave enough to go out and look for these men, then I'll be that person.
He nods and he's like, "No, I appreciate your bravery. I will as I said, I'm not gonna sway you one way or the other, but I just want you to be wary of what kind of dangers there might be."
Well, I know one thing for sure, and that's that you gotta keep your enemies, your friends close, but your enemies even closer.
Yeah. All right. So he's going to, like, he just as like he goes to turn around, he sees like another man, like another militia member, kind of pass by. He doesn't even look at him. He knows exactly who it is, and he just says, "Mr. Brooks, and this kind of scrawny looking like young kid, he's probably like 19, stops in his tracks in the doorway, and he turns around and he's just like, go go down to the armory and find Mr. Fernando here, some supplies he might need. To which this kid just kind of salutes him, and he just runs off, and he's like, "See, we'll get you taken care of. So if there's nothing else that I can help you with, you are free to uh, free to move about the complex."
Well, it doesn't look like there's anything else. Um, I mean, you probably know what's going on in the complex better than I do. Um, but any other like thing that's noteworthy, just let me know. I might be able to be useful in some way or another. Any event or anything that needs help or doing, and anything I can do it, then let me know. But yeah, now that I'm back up and I can do tasks that require both my hands, I can be useful as long as it's not anything too straining on my hand, and you know, that kind of stuff that could be, well, I don't know. I'm trying to be sensible.
Okay, let's see. Very well. So you you just kind of hang out waiting for what this kid brings back, and a couple minutes later, this kid, his name is Patrick Brooks, comes in. He's got two. He's got a flak jacket. He's got two of them actually, and in the other hand, he has a battle rifle. In his other hand, let's say it's an HK, an H&K G3 rifle. So he takes one, you know, you know, he takes one of these flak jackets, and he hands it to you, and he hands you the battle rifle, and one extra magazine for it. And he's like, as far as body armor, that's all we really have that's in usable condition.
It's better than nothing, and this weapon looks menacing. I don't know what it is, but it looks good to me.
Well, I'm sure he'll put it to good use if you're willing to go out on such a mission as finding our lost men.
Well, I sure hope I don't need to use it. Um,
Oh, you'll
I
use it.
think, oh, I'll use it. Oh man, how do you know? Is that Pat speaking, or is it like um, Bill?
I'd say that's Bill speaking.
Ah, okay. Um, you're certain I'll use it? Well, I don't know why you're so certain, but I sure don't want to use it if I don't have to.
Old foreshadowing.
All right, so he just kind of gives you maybe like a flat look, like he like not necessarily in a condescending way, but he's just like he's kind of gives you like a silent look of just like, do you know like what kind of situation we're in
Well,
regards to just like I don't like as in regards of you saying it's like how do you know I'm gonna use it?
Aha. So it's like almost like a rhetorical question, right?
Essentially.
Yeah. Well, all I'm trying to say is that I don't want to have to if I unless I need to because um, it's just better not to. But if I need to, which I probably will, I'll use it. And
Yeah.
I'll take it and let me know when there's green light for this operation for me. And if there is green light now, then just let me know.
Well, honestly, as I said, we haven't heard from the Dawn Patrol, nor have we heard from the search party we sent out to look for the Dawn Patrol. So if that's like what you want to do immediately, then be my guest.
And if I don't, what is your plan? I'm not gonna be the only solution to this, I suppose. And what if I go missing? Will you guys definitely need to hand me some kind of um, maybe help, or am I going alone? I mean, I don't know, but
I would recommend that you not go alone.
well, yeah, well, I'm thinking the same, but I'm also thinking uh, if something goes wrong, I want to make a plan, and I want to let you know what my plan is, and I want to hear what you think, and if there's any kind of trained military professional, um, I'd love to hear their opinion on um, my plan and what their plan is because I feel like that's the best way to approach a highly dangerous situation like this is to plan ahead so we don't have to have more people lost and yeah, I just think that's the best way to handle it really.
Well, I'm sure we've got few men here who are ex-military, so they if you want to bring some of them along, you're you're free to bring them along as long as they agree to it.
Yeah,
And
well, I don't want to yeah, that's the thing. I want somebody who's, like I said, a professional, somebody that does this, knows and has experience in situations like this. Because all I've got as experience is some bikers trying to rob um, the moonshine maker, the moonshine guy, and that was that's that pales in comparison to somebody that's lived on a field, that's gone through drills, and that's had all kinds of situations before their eyes, and that's what I'm implying here. It's just would be great to have some more. Well, I know we're just civilians, most of us, but amongst us, maybe there is somebody. I'd love to speak to them.
we'll see. I'll have to I'll have to do some looking around, but I think we I could find somebody to bring along with you. So let me let me do let me look. He kind of sits there and thinks about like who he could send with you, and he's like, "Well, I think I know a guy. I think his name is his name is Bob. We'll go with Bob because I'm drawing blanks for names. Or
Bob's a good
Robert.
name.
Or
Was it Robert or
Rob.
Bob?
Yeah. We'll go with actually we'll call him Rob.
Rob.
So
Cool.
yeah, yeah. He's been around the block a few times, and he he left the service maybe like 5 years before this stuff went down, and you know, I feel like somebody like him, he would be, you know, I would trust him to, you know, keep keep you guys safe if you're not too confident in your abilities. You there? Do you guys hear that?
I did.
I heard, yeah,
Okay.
about Rob. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go. I'll go run down to the kind of like the makeshift barracks, and go talk to him. He might even be down on the island. So you know, if once I can get in contact with him, I'll ask him to report to you guys or to you. So, in that sense, is there anything else that I can help you with? As far as I know, the old truck that you brought with us, I hate to say it, but the Dawn Patrol had actually taken that truck, and
Ah, shit. Of course they would. And oh my god.
I'm sure. But we have some other vehicles that might be just as suitable.
Oh, you know what? I kind of have bad memories with that. So, well, they're good and bad. Bad because you know why, but it's okay. I'll just take another whatever you got. At this point, um, doesn't matter as long as it's a vehicle.
Let's see. All right. So,
Maybe Rob will know more. Like, I don't know.
uh, he might, but I'll go. You know, if you don't have any other questions, then I'll.
No, not really. I'm just concerned about my fellow like citizens, and I don't want them to, just be lost. And I feel, this is someone needs to do something about this, and if no one's gonna do anything, then I'm gonna do something about it.
As I said before, I I do admire your bravery, and you're doing a good thing going out and searching for our men, and you know,
Well, what else is there to do? Like, it feels as if um, it's just waiting, and I can't. And I've waited for so long with my arm being in this. I just want to see something else other than what I see on my walks, every day that I take. So it's gonna be interesting, even though I will be dangerous. So, and you know my style, I like danger. So we'll see what we can do. But of course, let's get Rob or whatever.
yeah, I will. Uh, yeah, I will head down to. I will head down to the island, and go look for him there. He's more often than not he's stationed out on the island, so I'll run down to the island, and I will ask him to report to you. So, in the meantime, you can check out our check out the lot and take your pick of whatever vehicle suits your needs.
Okay, I'll try and find one that's to my liking. Um, so I'll go and do that. I'll go and check them out.
Okay, let's see. So we're gonna say you leave the you leave Bill's quarters and you go out to look for a vehicle. Now, let's see. Roll a d20 for me.
All right. All right. Not so great. 5. I don't know if that matters at all. But it's 5.
5. So let me see. It doesn't really. It's not a big deal. So yeah, roll another d20 for me.
Okay. Okay, I did it, and it's 18.
18.
Yeah.
You get a camper van.
Sweet.
So
I guess I'm gonna be
it's kind of like a
kind of slow, but I guess big.
it's kind of like a maybe a little bit bigger than like a little. It's kind of like an old Volkswagen van in a way. That's kind
Oh,
of
I
like
know what you're talking about. I've seen them.
yeah yeah. So you find like a. It's not like the old maybe like the old hippie Volkswagen van. It's actually kind of a newer one.
Oh, cool. I thought it was like the hippie one.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you know have like a you know you got like one of those, and it's you know you could sleep in it. Let's see. Let me find it in my little thing here. Let's see. It's seats. I imagine it would be like probably sleep like maybe 4 people. Like maybe not
Sounds good.
super comfortably, but
Well, I mean, that's great. Um, Exceeded my expectations, to be honest.
so as you said, it's like you could probably take some of the sheet steel that's kind of available to you, and if you want to fortify this little Volkswagen van, you know you're free to do so as
I
long
don't
as
know. I don't know. Like, I think that's great. I don't know. I feel like I should, or you know, before I fortify anything, I don't know. I want to like see what my friend Joseph is doing as well. Like, maybe I can go and speak to him, see what he's thinking about, and tell him about this whole thing, or maybe he already knows. I have no idea.
uh I don't know he probably doesn't know about like your meeting with Bill
Yeah,
and
not a meeting, but like the missing men and the fact that they've been missing for the whole morning.
yeah. Let's see. Um maybe maybe I'll have him roll for it whenever you go and speak to him.
Well, I think I like this car, the camper van. Um, yeah, if I meet Bill on the way out to the other, part of this, encampment, then I'll mention it to him. He'll find the keys, and then I'll go to Joseph. Or if I don't, I'll do the other way around. I'll go to Joseph, then I'll go to the Bill, and then we'll see what's next. And then maybe Rob will also show up, um, and we'll see. And then I'm thinking that's a good, you know, good plan. So that's what my, guy Fernando will be doing,
So,
and that's it. Yeah.
so you go out, you find, your camper van. You think this is probably the better option because there's at least some sort of like sleeping accommodation, so you don't necessarily have to like sleep out in the open. So you find the keys hanging on like a little pegboard. It's like a piece of wood with some nails on it, and you find the set of keys needed for that vehicle. And if you want to go, find Joseph and
Yeah.
let him, you know, let him know about like what your plans are.
Yeah, I guess I'll find him. I'll look for him. I don't know if I'll find him. I mean,
Uh, you know, you guys are in the same. You guys are in the same area, so
okay. Well,
you find you find Joseph somewhere. So what is Joseph probably doing right now?
Um, Probably just talking with some of the other militia members. He's made friends in the month of time he's been here.
All right, so roll a d20 for me. Let's say world lore.
That is a 19.
Yeah, as you said, you've gone on the dawn patrol like once or twice, so you know kind of like the maybe like the rotation, and you've definitely heard that the this morning's dawn patrol has not returned to the base, and you know they sent out a search party for it, and they also haven't returned with you know no contact back to the base whatsoever. So maybe you're a little worried for some of your fellow soldiers. So you're kind of sitting around with some of the other militia members. You're kind of just shooting the breeze, probably just trying to pass some time. And Fernando strolls up, and I'll let you guys kind of role play that out.
Hey, Fernando. I almost didn't.
hey, what are you playing cards for? Have you not heard of what's going on?
I have heard of what's going on,
Oh,
and
you have? Oh
I
my
figured
God.
they had a plan to deal with it.
You got a plan? Okay,
But,
let me in on the plan. I want to hear this. You're usually the brains, I feel like, so you gotta have a good plan.
well, so I was talking with some of the guys, and they were saying it was probable that they were going to send out more volunteers to go look for the guys, and I was thinking that could be us.
That's something I do agree with. I want to go and look for them. So what's the other part of the plan?
Well, the other part of the plan is since I've been out on dawn patrol and I know where we're going, uh, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, you probably know some of the guys there, so you might be even more kind of worried. Mm, I spoke to, what's his name again? Bill. You know Bill?
I believe I do.
Yeah, so he got me this awesome weapon and this armor. And also, I got a new car, a Volkswagen camper van. And if we want to go, I've got the vehicle, I've got my new weapon. My arm's now good. ish, and I'm, you know, also kind of getting a little bored, and it's been a whole month, and this is, I think, a great opportunity. So let's go and maybe inspect the vehicle. Maybe, I don't know. I've got an idea for it, but um, I don't know if we're taking any other of your friends. I didn't make a lot of friends, but you've been going out. Um, he said somebody called Rob. I don't know if you know him either, but he said he's gonna be accompanying us, or at least he's gonna be like there for some time. I don't know for how long. So maybe once we all meet up at the van, we'll get a little bit more, info and know what's going on. But it's good uh, that you made friends, and it's good.
Yeah, Rob's a cool guy. I believe I have interacted with him. Yeah.
Okay, well, what other kind of thinking is going through your head? Anything else? Maybe if you want to go and I want to go, we could go together. That's a certainty, but maybe we can pack some stuff. Like, I think we still would be wise. We would be wise to take maybe some kind of a GPS or something if we have, or some kind of a system to communicate or to make our location known to our headquarters here, and have like a plan of action. And I want to like discuss that with somebody here that would stay here and be like our operator, kind of, if we can have an operator of some sort. But I don't know. I mean, the guys. I'm just here. I'm just like fresh in the water. I'm like still learning how to swim, so to speak. So you probably know a little bit better. So yeah.
Well, I was thinking before we head out, we could try, the sheet metal that you see just lying around everywhere.
Yeah, I see it every day. It's eyesore.
Well, I was thinking we could take some of that. And you said we have a Volkswagen camper van, right?
Yeah, it is.
I reckon we could armor that thing up a little bit, like uh, around the drivers and passengers areas. Um, Maybe give ourselves a little bit of cover.
Yeah, last time I had to, you know, I had paid the price for not having that. So I definitely see, that as a plus, but it's gonna take some time. I don't know how long it takes to weld stuff, because I'm not a welder. But if you know and it's quick and we can do it and it's, if gonna work, then sounds like a plan.
Mythmaster, um, would it be possible that we could do this like within a reasonable amount of time and still be able to set out in like the early afternoon?
Um, I would say it would probably take you like a couple hours. Like you probably have like a couple other, you know, engineers or tradesmen, people who know how to do welding. So you could probably, you know, get some of these guys on board and they'll help you out.
All right. Um, I guess mechanically, um, if I were to fortify this vehicle, um, so there is cover in MYFAROG, right?
Yes.
So this would be giving us like more cover, or
I would say it would be like kind of like it would definitely be partial cover because
You still have to be able to see where you're driving,
yeah.
so there's still like gonna be gaps where you can get shot, but it's not like you can be shot from anywhere. I know we don't have like what's called like this bulletproof glass. That would be ideal, but we don't have that, so we
Yeah.
gotta make do.
Yeah, you kind of have to make do with what you have here. So you want to like go out and do a more thorough inspection of the vehicle, and then just kind of set to get to work on trying to you know fortify this vehicle.
Yeah.
Let's see. So it's a fairly new van. Uh, it's probably made less than 5 years, but in kind of the climate that we're in, it's like it's probably kind of started to develop a little bit of rust from all the salt that gets put on the roads in the winter. But it's it's you know
Yeah,
it's you
that's
know
cool.
mechanically and cosmetically it's in pretty good
It's
shape.
usable, right? That's all that matters.
Yeah,
Drives.
it is in good condition.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, then I'm actually very happy with my choice then, even though I had no idea about, I had never drove it, but I guess I'm lucky. So that's cool.
Okay, so you do your little you do your little walk around and look through like any spots that you have. So if that's you know welding some of that sheet steel to it, I'm gonna have Joseph roll crafts.
All right.
You could any sort of you know
That is a 12.
a 12. Let's see. Is that like with all your mods?
With mods, yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that you now have a after like a couple hours of welding some of the sheet steel, you have a armor penetration value of 1 on this vehicle. So it'll stop I think it's basically like most pistol ammunition.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, stops most pistols and probably makes it harder to, you know, penetrate with other guns as well.
Yeah.
At first,
Yeah.
until we get like Swiss cheesed.
All right. So as you're kind of standing around with Joseph and a couple other militia members welding some of this sheet steel to the vehicle, a man kind of walks up and he's like, Fernando Freitas. I believe that's how you pronounce your last name.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, a guy kind of, kind of a. I'd say he's about your age, maybe a little bit older. He's a very very well built, very grizzled looking man, and
I'm gonna turn around and say, "Hey, and you are Rob, I guess."
that's that would you would be correct.
Okay.
Bill
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Bill sent me to go find you guys. He said you're gonna go look out. You're gonna go look for our missing men.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And this is our ride.
He kind of looks over the vehicle and he's like, "Well, it's it'll do." So, Mister
It'll do. Yeah.
Rob, I figured that you would be bringing your friend Joseph here since you guys have been kind of close. So yeah,
Yeah,
he
well,
asked me to
we
give you
built a bit of
this.
a, partnership, bit of a teamwork spirit. So yeah, totally.
Yeah, so he's like he asked me to give him this. So he kind of tosses in Joseph's general direction the other flak jacket that uh uh, Mr. Patrick Brooks had brought you. He's like, he knows that, you know, Bill knows that he's pretty well equipped in terms of arms, but making sure that you have some protection from lead coming the other way is very paramount.
Yeah, just gonna nod.
Let's see. So let's say it's getting close to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. So it's still it's obviously it's you know in the afternoon, and it's gonna be a good while before the sun goes down. So after you finished putting your makeshift armor onto your vehicle, you guys are pretty good to go. So let's see that. So you guys both have flak jackets. That's boosts your DV, by 4, and you have a armor penetration value of 1, the same as the armor that you put on the vehicle.
Okay. So anything else special that we got? I got the new gun with extra magazine. That's nice.
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't think I've got anything else. Maybe I'm taking my knife, and that's about it. Like, knife is essential. I don't know what else I would take. Rope, maybe. Some food. I don't know, maybe. And
Yeah.
lights, matches,
Yeah.
you know.
Basically any like supplies that you
Yeah,
had.
supplies. Yeah.
You know, we can assume that you probably brought it along with you.
Okay. All right.
I'm also gonna just I'm also gonna say that along with your, you said you had like a knife that you had
Yeah,
along
knife.
with you. You, along with the rifle, the HKG3,
Yeah.
they gave you a matching bayonet with it, so you have a
Nice.
extra knife, I guess.
That's sweet. Bayonet's good. But not bayonet. I'm sure I'll try to use it when the ammo runs out or if somebody's close. Yeah, sure.
So let's see. Not only do you okay, so you got Rob, and we're gonna say, let's roll D4 real quick. I'm gonna say that you got 2 other guys with you, like 2 other like fellow guys, like militiamen. We're gonna say it's like 2 of the guys that uh, Joseph was talking to. They volunteer to go with you guys to on your mission. We're gonna say one guy's name is Dylan, the other guy's name is Chris.
I'm pleased to meet these volunteers as well and shake their hands and kind of, I guess that, yeah, just get to know them, but nothing formal, nothing special, nothing like. It's just business. Needs to be done.
Yeah. So the let's see. Chris is armed with let's see what's he got. We're gonna say he's got submachine gun. We're gonna say it's like an MP5, and the other guy's got a compact assault rifle. We're gonna say it's kind of like it's basically like an like an M16, but with like a carbine length barrel. So now you've got a party of you two guys, and you got three NPCs that help you along the way. So not a big force to be reckoned with, but it's not just you're not just out on your own.
I suppose let's get going then.
Okay. Let's find out more about our missing fellows.
Okay, so the five of you pile into this fortified camper van. We're gonna say one of the let's say who wants actually, do you want to drive, or who's driving?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna take a break from driving this time.
All right, so we're gonna have one of the NPCs. We're gonna have Chris do the driving.
Okay, Chris. I hope you're a good driver.
You roll to see if he's a good driver.
Let's see.
That's kind of. I don't know. Yeah.
He's a mediocre driver.
Oh fuck. Okay. Right. Well, at least he's gonna be better after this. So.
Okay.
Thank God.
So again, the five of you pile into this van, and you're gonna drive off down the road, heading down south. And let me see something real quick. So let me pull some stuff out. So maybe like not even like a half a mile down the road. Let's see what happens here. All right, so you won't really notice this until later on, but let's just say you didn't really do a very thorough check of the vehicle, and you didn't notice that one of the headlights is out. But you wouldn't know that until nighttime.
That's okay.
So it's not the
Not
worst thing that
detrimental.
could happen. So
Yeah. I'm glad at least one is working.
yeah, it just means that you have -2 to perception, and
Well, that
checks
sucks. But
during nighttime or inclement weather. At least that's
is it the winter time or is it summer?
It's
What is
summertime.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got a lot of daylight, so it's
Yeah.
good. But we'll have to fix that when we come back.
Okay, so you pass by, you pass by the island, going down the highway basically. You pass a small town, and just just keeping alongside the Ohio River, and eventually you get down to another larger settlement, and according to your map, this is Steubenville, Ohio. And from actually, let's have uh, Joseph roll world lore.
All right. Natural one.
Oh, okay, so there's like something that there is something that you know about or you knew about this town, but for whatever reason you're drawing blanks. Like maybe you're just trying to just think about like where could all of our men gone, but for whatever reason there's something about this town that you've heard about it. You've driven by it on your dawn patrol, but it's slipping your mind as to what that was. Let's see. However, the saving grace being Rob, he knows what's going on, so he'll fill you in. He's like, this Steubenville is it's controlled by that the that communist militia, the Appalachian Workers Party, or the AWP as some people call them. Those guys with the red berets that are parading, like kind of marching around in the outskirts of like the Soviet controlled territories. Well,
Yeah.
these guys occupy this village or this city, and from what I know from some of the other scouts, they're not doing a very good job at it. It's basically in anarchy, in a way. Like you, I know you've heard like all that gunfire coming down south. Well, we got two groups have been going at each other for God knows how long. You got they call themselves the new Black Panther Party. And you also have on the other side a group called the 14 Words. Now,
Oh boy.
so there's like some kind of like some silly race war going on. I don't believe in any of that mumbo jumbo, but they figured any other time would be this would be the best time to fight a war over that sort of dumb stuff. So just keep your wits about you, and if bullets start flying, more than likely they're not being shot. They're not being shot at you, but either way, just kind of be on your guard as you're driving through here.
Okay.
All right. So you kind of drive. You drive underneath this big suspension bridge that is under construction, and under like an old. And you start getting into the town itself. It's just mostly residential housing, a couple, bigger buildings. There's not too much in terms of like industry here. It's mostly a kind of like a suburb for, you know, the steel mills in Weirton. And let me see here. So you drive past drive past like a school, like a drive past like the high school, and you start hearing that gunfire again. It's to your it would be to your right. It's probably you'd reckon it's probably about like 400 feet away. But you can kind of see, some guys, like some figures out in the streets. But again, they're not shooting at you, so I don't know if like you'll just keep on driving or
Well,
whatever you want to
they
do.
would, there's a saying, that you don't like get involved with these things, especially if it's not hard business. So I feel like staying out of it's wise. And we didn't come here to, you know, join this or that like uh, faction or whatever. We came to look for our guys. Uh, and these guys don't seem like they're about to talk. They seem like they're about to shoot each other. So I don't know. I think maybe just let them be. What do you say, guys?
I would agree. Yeah.
All right, so you're just gonna keep on driving. Like this is fine. There's none of our business. So you keep on driving, and you come across one of those red beret guys. He doesn't seem like super bothered by the firefight that's going on, like a couple streets down. Like he's looking in that direction, but he's like not like hurrying over to. But he's just walking down the street. He's carrying, an AK-47. He's, got like his green, not his green, it's his red beret. So he's one of these communist militia members. But he's just walking down the street with his AK-47. As he's looking over in that direction, he sees your truck or your van, and he gets a little. He finds it really odd that there's this like these metal plates just welded to the sides of it in kind of, you know it's very odd to him. So he gets a little suspicious, and he goes to try and stop you.
I'm going to tap on Chris's shoulder, Chris, the guy who's driving, and say, ram him.
All right.
Yeah, ram that guy.
All right.
Go for
So
it.
so this guy is just going to. We're gonna say he's probably going like 40 miles an hour, and
That's good enough.
so you hear him. You just give him this. You just kind of look to Chris, the driver, and you're just like, just ram the guy. So
Yep.
you see the guy just kind of step out onto the road, put his hand up like to like stop, and he just floors it. And so the guy just kind of, he very clearly sees that you're speeding up, so he kind of panics and he just jumps out of the way. And then he's going to try and get up, and he's going to just start spraying in your direction.
Okay. Uh,
He doesn't hit you at all.
so you didn't get him.
It's he's a little too fast on his feet, I guess. So
Well, I think we should maybe. I don't know what the hell he's gonna do, but he looks kind of helpless on his own.
uh,
And
yeah, just
yeah, I don't
kind of the
know.
look that you got, you the way you kind of surmised him. He didn't look like he was really like a hardened soldier. He was probably just kind of like a college kid who kind of got a little too enamored with the Communist Manifesto and just ended up joining this communist
Okay.
militia.
Well, oh, he looks like he can be dissuaded. So, well, that's what it sounds to me. I don't know if you want to like dissuade this kid. I mean, you know what? Actually, no. I don't want to have anything to do with people that made this choice. So just I'd rather have him killed, but I don't know what the rest of everybody thinks. I'm just gonna say, Rob, should we kill this guy? What do you think, Rob? You're the expert on warfare, so maybe you should
Well,
weigh in on this.
well, if it means I would honestly try and avoid any sort of firefight as much as we can, especially with some of these AWP militia members. I wouldn't even really call them soldiers. They're just kind of like a college kids. They don't really have the training. Some of them are pretty, you know, formidable fighters, but a lot of them are just kind of
Well,
lost college kids that got kind of sucked into this whole thing.
well, then we should just, I guess, leave him.
Just leave
Uh,
him be. I don't want to waste bullets on the poor kid.
yeah, don't wanna. Maybe I don't know. Let's just leave him.
So yeah, so you leave that militia member in the dust after he dumps his magazine. You kind of hear him, start shouting at in your direction. So you leave him. You leave him be. So you drive past a few more buildings. You drive past like a post office distribution center, and you come across a this big suspension bridge that it's intact and it crosses the Ohio River onto the other side, which up until honestly this is actually the first complete crossing of the Ohio other than that like the rail bridge. That's the only like complete crossing that you've seen of the Ohio River. So you could either continue going down this highway, or if you want, you could probably cross over to the other side. But that's honestly up to you. What you want to do?
Hmm.
Well, I guess we're going all the way. Or no. I mean, I think. What's patrols like? Patrol area? Because we want to be around their area. We want to look for clues. We want to see if something's like been left. We want to gather as much information. And I don't know if they go past every day or what they do, but if somebody knows what they do, we should just try to do exactly what they do and then hope to find clues.
Let's see. So let's see. Let's see. Joseph, roll. Let's say roll navigation. So if you can like kind of remember the general patrol.
That is my natural one.
You got another natural one.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, you can't remember the exact route like at all. But you kind of think like as you pass by that bridge, you kind of think you pass like by that bridge, you kind of think maybe that like you've seen you've seen them cross over that bridge before, or another bridge that goes across the river into West Virginia. But you kind of remember that they do kind of like a weird kind of loop where they start out basically going back the way you came, and then they do kind of like it's like a big loop going west, and then eventually find their way over into West Virginia to kind of scope out where you know you know the enemy's sphere of influence is, and eventually find their way back back to the camp. So
I guess I would be in favor of crossing over the river.
okay, so you're gonna cross over the river, and you feel like that they go you should be heading north. So as you cross the river, you think that you should turn left, to which Rob kind of looks at you as like, you realize that you're taking us like right into Soviet territory. Like I can deal with those like the AWP guys. Like those guys don't really bother me too much. But I'm definitely a lot more wary of like actual Soviet soldiers. Like they got, they got, the top of the line equipment, or at least as far as we know, top of the line equipment. But it definitely, our equipment kind of pales in comparison to the kind of stuff they got. So but
I'm gonna ask Rob, where do you think we should go?
I'll I'll I say we continue south. I'm pretty sure, like usually they head down south. Once they cross over into West Virginia, where you guys are now. So he's gonna basically suggest that you guys head down that way.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So
Okay.
Chris is going to. You guys kind of stopped at the intersection, and you kind of argued for a little bit. So you eventually came to that consensus and head down south. Now Let's see. No. Okay, so you come across as you are, crossing the bridge. Nothing happens to the car. So you come across. Let me see. Where's my D10? You come across a church that, I mean, it kind of looks like it's a church, but there's something odd about it. You see a weird banner that has like a very weird symbol. It looks kind of like a weird flying saucer with like an eye, like an Egyptian eye or something kind of like it on it. And the little billboard next to it, where they kind of like have like weird little sayings or announcements. It just says, "The time has come."
For what?
Check that out.
So, you wanna check out this? You wanna check out this church?
It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Time has come.
Or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'd like to take a look what's up here.
Okay, so you stop the car and you get out and you're gonna walk towards the church. Roll perception for me.
All right. Get ready for the third nat one.
Um,
Okay. That is an 8.
As you walk closer to it, you kind of notice like a foul smell. As you probably get within like 20 feet of like the door to the church. So you walk up to the church doors and you kind of get like a distinct like foul odor, like in the nostrils.
Interesting. I'm gonna keep on walking.
You keep on walking. You're gonna walk up to those doors.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume you're gonna open the doors or at least try the doors.
Yeah.
The doors are unlocked, and within like a second, that like smell, that stench, it amplifies like times 10. And you see like you look into the inside of the church, and you just see this several dead bodies laying on the floor. Now, roll a Constitution check for me.
All right. 16.
Some like obviously like when you hit that undeniable stench of death hits you, like it's obviously very repulsive, but for some reason you keep the contents of your stomach down, but now obviously you're faced with several dead bodies. Just
How does it look that they died, and what positions are they in?
um, let's see. Roll another perception check for me.
3.
Um,
Dice man hates me.
actually, I'm actually gonna give this one to you because it should be pretty
Sometimes.
obvious. You can pretty much discern that they all died from suicide, from
Ah,
varying means. Some of them have some of them have bullet holes through their head, so there's like guns lying on the floor. You can see that there's like some like plastic cups with some strange like purple liquid that have spilled onto the floor. You can even also see like there's like people like hanging from nooses like in the rafters. And these guys have been dead for probably a good few days. Hence like the horrible stench. So, actually, where is everybody else? Did they follow?
I'm still in the car, I think.
Okay, so you guys are still in the car.
I am. I don't know about the rest of the party. Um,
Um, I'm gonna say Rob, and I'm gonna say Dylan accompanied him. And okay, so as soon as the like the stench of death just hits everyone's nose as soon as that door opens, this Dylan just immediately vomits just from how foul it is. But Rob's seen some shit. He's fine. He just kind of just has like that 1,000-yard stare. Just like, what the hell happened here?
Looks like a mass suicide, I guess. Um,
No
I
shit.
believe the sign outside said the time has come. Uh, doesn't take a detective to figure this one out.
Okay. So you can kind of just kind of you know Rob kind of looks around and he sees this definitely was not a Christian church. It was at some point, but it's been taken over by something else. Like some of the Christian religious iconography or whatever icons have been replaced by these weird drawings. And one of the drawings or paintings looks like that comet that you had seen in the sky in the last session.
So this is like a Heaven's Gate situation.
Yeah, kind of. It's like a Heaven's Gate, Jonestown, whatever you call it. But yeah, it's like you can kind of deduce some sort of like kooky UFO cult, or was a kooky UFO cult. You also notice that all of the members they had shaved heads. They they have gone out of their way to look totally androgynous, I suppose. So yeah, it's very much like a weird Heaven's Gate sort of situation. Yeah.
Are the men castrated too? I'm joking. That was a thing the Heaven's Gate did, though.
I know. I was just gonna say, if you really wanted to know, you can roll for it.
Yeah, that didn't happen until 1997, so I don't think I would have known to check. Or
Oh,
wanted to.
well. So you just have like these probably at least 100 dead bodies just rotting away in this building. But you also have like handguns on the floor. So if you want to you know, obviously these people don't need them anymore. So if
I
you want to
suppose I want to look at it. Is there any 9mm ammunition?
um I'm going to say roll roll foraging.
Rolling, my specialty. Oh, that's pretty good,
Yeah.
actually.
What did you get?
My foraging is okay. I got a 21.
Oh yeah, you definitely find plenty of 9mm, you know, ammunition. So you, I mean, a lot of the guys are kind of like old school. They got like 1911, so they got 45 ACP. But you find quite a few that had 9mm, you know, ammunition. So as
Hmm.
horrifying as the sight was, you got something out of it.
About how much ammo again?
Hmm. I'm gonna say probably enough to let me probably enough to fill like three more 30-round magazines for your MP40.
Beautiful. All right. I guess if anyone else wants to loot, they are welcome to do that. Um, and then once we're done, I think I'm just gonna possible to just burn the place down.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say
I think
after
we
you're
should take the
done,
guns,
after
although I'm not there yet, so.
yeah, after you've done after you've kind of done your investigation, you go back out to the van to report what you find, and I'm gonna let you roleplay that out.
Uh, Fernando, Chris, we got a bit of a situation. Um,
Yeah.
appears to be some kind of suicide UFO cult. Um, about 100 people there,
The fuck?
uh, dead by their own hands. All sorts of different methods, but that's besides the point. Uh, we got
Yeah.
we got some ammunition. I think I'm in favor of burning this place down.
I'm in favor of taking at least the corpses, maybe. Well, I don't know. If you said they're just crazy UFO, whatever, who cares? They're irrelevant, but the guns might be useful. Just like nice to have extra.
Look, I don't want to make you go inside and have to get the smell hit you, but like, is if there's anything you want, I can get it for you. I can go back in and get it.
Well, I just wanted the guns, nothing else, really.
About
That's
how many
about it.
guns in there, Mythmaster?
I would say, about half of the I would say about half of the people in there probably. Actually, no. I'm gonna say probably like a quarter of the people in there probably uh, shot themselves. So there's probably, at the very least, 25 handguns.
I guess we'll pile all of those into the van, and we can bring them back when we come back. We can bring them back to base, that is. And then,
Yeah, I think we want to take them because um, he said that we've got scarcity and resources, and this is like just fantastic to find, these guns. As a kind of a survivalist situation where a militia wouldn't be a bad idea. Just thinking, it's probably good to take
Alright,
them.
so,
What do you say? I,
well, I'm speaking as Rob. He's like, well, as grotesque as it is, we can definitely get it. Use as much ammunition as we can. So we can
yeah,
definitely
I feel like it's just
salvage as many of these
it
guns as
would
we
be
can
foolish to
before
waste it,
we.
and it's good, we can use it. What's the point? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
I'm all for taking it, and
all right. So,
I think it's worth it.
say you guys are gonna go back in there. I'm not gonna have you roll for it again. Roll for it again. Constitution. This is you all experienced it like before, so you're gonna go in there. You're gonna pick up as many of the handguns as you can find. You know, as you said, like any of the guns that had, you know, 9 millimeter ammunition. You just went through them and took out all the guns out of the magazines, and probably like I'm gonna say probably about half of them were, or a little over half of them were 9 millimeter, and the rest of them are like 45 ACP. So just kind of like old school 1911s. Well, it wouldn't be old school, but like that. It's a very, very common handgun for the era. So, so you've salvaged as many firearms as you can, and are you just gonna? You still plan on burning the place down? You still there?
yeah.
All right. So, as you said, you salvaged as many firearms as you could find, and now you just have this mass suicide site. It's like a wooden structure, so it would definitely very easily burn. So if you want to burn it, it probably wouldn't take like super long to get it going.
Yeah. And I could probably siphon off just a little bit of gas to get it started.
All right, so you kind of siphon off just maybe like a not even like a quarter of a gallon of gas, and you get like some rags, or you probably just like kind of rip off some of like the clothing pieces of the clothing of the dead. You kind of soak them in the gas, and just light the place ablaze, or light the rags ablaze. Set on something that looks very flammable, and just let nature take its course.
Indeed.
So Are you just gonna watch the building burn, or are you just gonna, after setting the fire, are you just gonna move forward? So again, there's nothing really here for you anymore. You've
Maybe stay, say a few prayers, you know, and then leave.
yeah. So I'm gonna say yeah. They're the Chris, Dylan, and Rob are pretty typical Christians, and even though that they were very you know there was something definitely wrong with their heads, but still they say a quick prayer to their God to you know forgive them and whatnot. As we have the most morbid barbecue known to mankind.
So, okay, that is fucked up, yeah. But
No kidding.
not that bad, I guess.
Yeah. So you say your prayers, you get back into your van, and you get back onto the road. You drive past. You drive past another big like mill, like another big steel mill on your right, and now another another town called Falansby, or however you say it. Let me see if you encounter anything. Oh boy. So, weird. All right. So as you're driving along, and just like in the old truck, since the roads have not been very well maintained, they're kind of looking kind of crappy. So, uh, Chris runs over a pothole, and just like before, like the muffler comes loose, and now your vehicle has become a little bit louder. You there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So Chris, like every hour I check for like vehicle failure, and he happened to say he ran over a pothole, and now your muffler has come loose or has come off, and now your vehicle is a lot louder than it used to be.
Yeah. Um, I guess that's not too big of an issue.
If you're trying to be stealthy, like you're not gonna be very
We're in a
stealthy.
camper van with steel plates welded onto it. Stealth was never the priority.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
survival was.
let's see, and let's see. Speaking of which, not only did you lose your muffler, you come across some more people. They don't You don't really know what they are. They just seem like a kind of a ragtag group of people, and they have pistols and shotguns. There's about 5 of them.
And we're in what kind of area? In Fallonsby? Fallonsby was the name of the town?
Something like that. We're gonna say, like, you're passing by. You're passing, like, by the post office.
And we see people with rifles and pistols.
Like shotguns and pistols. Like, they're not like, they don't look any military. They just look like civilians. Like picked up. Like they're just some handguns and shotguns from wherever they could get them. And
would I happen to know anything about the situation here?
Roll world lore.
All right. Got an 8.
You haven't really seen any signs of occupation from either Soviet or AWP like forces, but you imagine that they're probably kind of they're kind of sandwiched between settlements that are occupy them, so their supply chain has probably been either cut off completely or severely rationed. And by looking at these people, you can kind of tell that they're not in a great kind of shape. They look kind of emaciated. So they're
hungry.
they definitely look kind of hungry. So you see one of them kind of like raise their hand up to kind of like get your attention.
I'll ask Chris to pull over and let us talk to them.
So Chris will walk over. He will not walk. He'll pull the van over to the side of the road. He'll stop next to these guys. He'll roll down his window, and one person kind of walks up. He's like a middle-aged. I want to say middle-aged. He's like 40-year-old man, and he's like, "Do you have any food?"
Who's asking?
My family here. These fucking communists cut off their supply chain to the village. Many of us haven't eaten in days. So,
well, I see you guys can handle yourself if you want. So we're working with the militia to try to find some people who went missing. Would you mind accompanying us? We'll feed you if you do. And we'll take you back to base.
Let me see. Roll social skills for that.
Oh no.
I'm sure you'll convince them if they're hungry. And you mentioned food, it shouldn't be too hard.
Social skills, I have. I guess I got a 14.
That's not bad.
So he kind of like looks at you and he's just like, man, after like walking around these around the village trying to hunt whatever game we can find, you know, I'll do anything. So if it means like making sure that my family survives, like we'll go along with you.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it more. God bless you, you folks.
Thank you
So
kindly.
so you got, you know, you had five people in this van, including yourselves already, and this probably it's gonna get pretty cramped in here. Adding another five.
Oh yeah.
So you know, you try and make as much room as you can for these five weary uh, civilians as you can. And are you just gonna continue on going south, or are you gonna turn back and go back to base?
About what time of day is it?
Um, I would say it's about 5:30, 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Um, I would suggest that maybe we. I would suggest we head back because um, we're not going to have much luck searching at night.
Yeah. So you're just gonna head back, and you're going to drop these poor unfortunate folks back. Back at the camp. You know, they're basically gonna be refugees essentially. So you're gonna like kind of do like a, not like a necessarily kind of like a U-turn, but you're gonna find somewhere to like kind of do like a little turnaround, and you're gonna head back. You're gonna drive past the burning church. You know, black metal. You, as you drive past, like you just hear like black metal music playing in your minds, even though like you guys wouldn't know what black metal was, but just something in your minds you just hear. You know, just the most
You get
grim,
that
just
dark sort of,
yeah,
you know, it's a feeling. Seeing a church burn, it's a feeling.
yeah. So
Can't be described other than felt.
yeah, so you guys are gonna head back, and you're gonna kind of try and actually you're just gonna go back the way you came. See if you meet anybody on the way, and so you're gonna head as you're passing through uh, Steubenville again. You come across some more men. Actually, you come across some more men, and they are in the middle of a firefight. Some more of these, you know, racially motivated like firefights going on in this town, and they're like right in the middle of this
Place
road
your
that you're
bets,
on.
guys. Place your bets. I bet on the 14 words.
Uh, you know, Rob can't. Rob just kind of like he kind of cringes. He's like, and I really can't take sides in any of this. Is like their guys are kind of trying to. I don't really get this kind of stuff, especially like these 14 words people. I can't get behind it. Like my my old
No,
man
I'm not
fought against the Nazis in the
winning out
Second
better.
World War, so I can't in good conscience support something that my daddy fought to defend our freedom from.
Yeah, well, I'm not supporting it. I'm just saying that I believe their chances are better. That's all.
And why do you say
Um,
that?
it's not support. Well, I just feel like they're more kind of dangerous. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
All right, so you're
You
just
know,
gonna are
it
you just
doesn't
gonna
really matter. I'm just trying to like make this seem less of a serious thing than it is. But doesn't really matter.
so are you just gonna are you just gonna like sit back and watch these guys fight?
Uh,
Well, I don't want to get involved in their fight, and even if I try to get involved, like I'm just gonna get myself killed for no reason.
Okay.
like, is it possible to go around, or is this a really, really large firefight?
Um, I would say you could definitely go around, but you would definitely have to like make like a big like kind of detour because you can't really tell like just how many like men are involved in this firefight, and you don't want to accidentally get yourselves in the middle of a crossfire.
Well, if we have to take a big detour to avoid getting shot at, I suppose that's what we're gonna have to do.
Okay, so Chris is gonna put the van in
Yeah,
gear.
these guys are fighting like crazy. Like, well, so long. It's been like a few hours, I guess, now, and they're still shooting each other for basically no reason. Well, they have their reasons, but uh, I don't understand why you would have a big problem and then break and fight over small things.
Okay, so
Like Rob said, I just feel like we should maybe stay clear from it.
yeah, just
But I don't know what you
let
guys
them
think.
duke it out themselves.
I mean, the thing is, they're not helping our cause. They're just trying to fight for, I don't know, their pride and whatever they believe in. But it doesn't really help in any way. I don't know. Just feels
Yeah,
like out of these people that we passed, the guy with the red beret was the most sane so far. Not gonna lie, just the most sane person
okay.
that I've seen today.
So Chris is gonna put the van in gear. He's gonna make a big detour around this, and he finds his way back onto the highway. And let's see, no problems, and you just go back and you make your way back to the base. No further problems. So
Well, we didn't save any of the militia, I don't think, right? But we did save some hungry guys.
yeah, so
In the end, I'm trying to, yeah, mission semi-success.
yeah, so far you've haven't I mean, you didn't come back empty-handed. You didn't
No,
find what you
no,
were looking
certainly
for.
not.
You
Certainly not.
brought back some refugees, and you also brought back some weapons that could be used.
Yeah, the weapons and the ammo are a big deal in a situation where you're trying to wage war and you don't have any resources, the economy isn't working, and everything is in basically chaos. I think that's a big win.
Yeah.
And more people to our cause, although they're just some family. Yeah,
Yeah. So
I think we did well, but I'm still wondering what happened to those guys. How did they, what happened to them? But I don't know.
all right. So you're gonna drop off the the family that you rescued, and you're gonna imagine you kind of like send for like the armor to collect the weapons so they can be
Hmm.
reused. And so while that's going on, like what are you gonna do? You just kind of
Well, I wanna, I don't know. I was trying to ask the civilians that we saved if they had any recollection of basically any kind of, you know, sightings of our guys, but looks like maybe I should wait for them to get a little bit more, you
let's
know,
see. So I mean,
relaxed.
you can ask them. Let me see if they did.
Because these guys, we just saved them. I didn't want to like bother them because they were already like kind of weird, like weirded out by the whole situation and all the church and everything. That was creepy. So
Yeah.
don't want to
So
overload the.
I'm gonna say you talk to the you talk to the family a little bit, try and get some sort of information about him, about like really anything. So they tell you about that weird cult. They said they call themselves the Temple of the Other World. They was ruled by a guy called Jim Applewhite. Some like really like kooky guy who was like really
Jim
into.
Applewhite, damn. His name is weird as hell, but I guess his actions are even weirder.
So he had
Right?
some weird premonition that some ancient alien race had been warning them that the planet was about to go through some great reset that would just wipe out everything on the world and just start anew, and that they were essentially those who had were following the cult, that they actually believed that they were aliens that were disguised as human beings, and when the time came that their alien tribesmen would pick them up in their spacecraft before the world would end. And that
That's
comet
some
that they saw
crazy.
in the sky, they took that as the prophecy that that was their signal to uh, shed their human skins and return to,
Embrace their alien origin.
yeah, when in reality they just killed themselves because they were crazy.
Yeah, that's what it looks to me. Unless they ascended somehow, which doesn't make a lot of sense.
So
So I'm just gonna chuckle at that story, and yeah, that's about all I can do, really. I kind of feel bad that they had to live with that, bullshit like pastor or priest, this guy James.
well, I mean,
But
as
what?
in this kind of chaos, you gotta find some sort of solace, like something to like keep you going.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so.
Whether it
I mean,
you lose like every bit of your sanity
oh,
to do it, or even your life, really. So they also kind
yeah.
of they also kind of like said that although they don't, there isn't really you know, a noticeable presence by any of the occupiers. They did see at one point a convoy of like a Soviet convoy driving through the town, and
Hmm. No, that's something more like our issue.
and they did see like a group of you know men that were not that were very clearly not you know Soviet soldiers being they couldn't remember if they were just being paraded through the town like on foot or if they were being transported in a vehicle somewhere, but they do remember seeing uh they do remember seeing like some people being transported somewhere, but they can't really say for sure if it was if that was your men that you were looking for.
Well, we don't know, but if that was sometime, then again, it's not during the time that we're talking about. So they don't say today. So if it's not today, then it's obviously not
Well,
today. And
actually, I will
by
say
sometime, I don't know what they mean. Like, what do you mean by sometime? Today or last
it
week?
was at
Because that
some
matters a lot.
time. It was at some time today, so it could
Oh,
be.
well, then it's certainly our guys.
It
There's
could
no
be
other
your
way. It
guys, or
cannot be anybody else.
yeah. So
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like my character is very optimistic, although there's
you
no
have like
guarantee that it is our
a
guys.
hunch that
Yeah.
those are the guys that
Yeah.
you're looking for.
Yeah, well, I just feel like it, but that doesn't mean anything. It's not like empirical
Yeah.
enough to
So
warrant, perfect. It means, oh, that's it. But I'm just thinking,
so
because today, what are the chances no other men have gone this way
yeah,
today
you
except
have
ours that we know of? We don't know of anybody else, and they wouldn't lock up their own guys, and we are the only people in the area that are kind of organized. So it's likely. It's likely. I'm not saying it is, but it's very likely. So you might have spotted our guys, you guys. So
all right.
I'm hoping for it. I'm hopeful.
So
I don't know.
yeah, you kind of, as you said, you kind of talk to these guys a little bit. You get that little bit of info that you know as little information that it was, it's useful in the end. So again, it's like very early evening by now. It's probably like 6:30 by now. It's still daylight out, but the sun is like it's starting to get low in the sky, and you probably have like maybe like a two like less than 2 hours of sunlight. I would reckon. So after dropping these guys off, what are your actions going forward?
Well, then I they saw the guys. Did they remember where they saw them, or
They were
no,
walking.
or on the same road that we came on?
Yeah, they were parading them through the same town that you found them in, down the same street,
Oh,
going
cool.
south.
Well, I feel like that's where we ought to go next, based on that information. But that might not be the case, although it's very likely. Like I already said, I think so. So I'm just gonna ask Rob and the rest of the party if they want to like stay as a group and work together as a team for the next expedition, potentially. Um, See what
Absolutely.
if they like it or not,
Yeah, yeah.
if they want to.
Rob and Chris, and Dylan, agree that they will stick around for the next, like when they head back out again, they will, accompany, you and Joseph. So, are you gonna head back out, or are you going to wait until the morning?
I'm definitely trying to sleep as well. Like I can't just, not sleep. So I'm gonna have to definitely take a break for today and wait for the morning to break because my guy's exhausted from all the traveling and needs a rest. I don't know what the others feel like, but I would feel like I need a bit of a rest to recover a little bit. But if you guys feel, like you still have the stamina to go on, then sure, no problems with that.
I think it'd be better
You know.
to set off in the morning,
Yeah,
maybe even
Yeah, I
dawn.
think so because this is dangerous. Like in the night, we don't have a light on our car as well, if you'd remember. So it's actually just a bad plan altogether to go in the night to look for guys that were there during the day. We can't see anything. We don't have like torches or whatever, like proper. So I don't know. That's just my thinking. But you get
yeah.
to choose your own fate,
Rob will
I
agree
guess.
that it would probably be best that they rest up because probably by the time that they get back to where they were, it will be dark. And
Yeah,
if there's
very likely.
somebody who's if there's somebody who's like, maybe they're expecting you for some reason, you would be very you would be at a disadvantage, you know.
Yeah, you would be at a big disadvantage going in blind with no light and
Well,
just
you don't have no light. You just have one headlight out.
yeah, one, but one is worse than two.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what that would be folly. It would be folly. So I don't see the point. So
Yeah. So you guys just come to a
yeah.
consensus that you're just gonna rest up for the night, and I think we'll probably keep the next expedition for next session. So
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, I don't mind going more. It's just in game, it sounds a little bit too much because we are not prepared for just the tonight. And I feel like, yeah, if you want to stop the session, that's fine with me because um, it doesn't really matter to me. Like it matters. I like playing, but if you need to go or something, yeah, sure.
yeah, I just don't really want to be up all night, be up
Stretch the, yeah.
like
No,
too
of course
late.
not.
You know, my wife probably wants to get to
Okay.
bed, pretty soon. So
Yeah, sure.
so
That's always very
yeah,
important. Like
it was a
your family is above,
yeah.
the game.
So all right, so I'm gonna stop the broadcast.